truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. Hit like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. Be cool, city lights shining so bright. Fine dining lights feels right. Flights to places far from sight. Get right, ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Underneath the neon glow, life is fast but take it slow. Every moment like a show. Let's go. Dancing through the night, we got energy flows we can't hide. Feel alive, we outside. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Stay cool.
Hey, nobody bigger than the program.
What's up, YouTube? Once again, we back at it, back with it. Let's get it. You know, I'm a little disappointed, but at the same time, not altogether giving up. But it's time for the kings must take their rightful seat at the table. And how do you do that? By putting yourself first. Men, we had to start putting ourselves first, right? There's no way that we as men should keep putting the woman first. There's just no way we should keep putting them first and ourselves last. It's just no way. We don't see the writing on the wall. We don't hear their loud voices spoken. I don't need a man. I think I've heard it so much that it's like second nature. Women say, I don't need a man. That's fine. We ain't got to beg for these women to need us. We got our own thing. We can do our own thing. I mean, you can, when you want some sex or whatever, you can always go get that. That ain't nothing. Getting sex is easy. Women, you know, they'll sell it to you. So you ain't got to worry about that. Right? But the companionship part is where we're falling short, because we're thinking that, you know, the best way is community. You know, let's build a, I guess, family unit again, nuclear family. That shit's over with. We are living in a society where the women are divorcing themselves from us. And let me explain that. What does that mean, divorcing themselves from us? I'm not talking about the marriage part. I'm talking about period, right? Back in the day, a woman got her intrinsic value from being married to a man. Right? Her value was to get married. And once she get married, then she became more valuable. People look at her more respectably. You know, people looked at her and viewed her, and she was able to flex her marriage on other women, you know, by particularly marrying a guy of great economic clout and success. And those days have changed. Women have divorced themselves from that. Women no longer want to tie themselves to a man to create value. So what does a king have to do when his queen is no longer want to be a queen? We got to do what we do, and that's be kings of our own lives. We have to be kings of our own lives. Can't keep trying to live for these women, man. Can't keep trying to. I swear these niggas are trying to push us the chivalry, be loyal, be disciplined, all this shit to try to please women. Or they say, well, how are we going to check women? Well, stop giving them money. Stop giving them this. Stop giving them that. Dude, you just got to put yourself first. Got to stop trying to build this stupid ass nuclear family. Kids going to be all right. Whether it's 2-parent, 1-parent, co-parent, don't matter. You know, you have a kid, you know, you're gonna make it work out. You're gonna let it work out. It's gonna work itself out.
Women say they want providers, right? Women say they want providers, right? Right. So when a man goes to build a society so that he can earn something, so that he can take care of his family, that's what I'm talking about. When men built the society so that women could flourish, because that is the system that a man developed to take care of his family. Now, what we have here is women have the capacity to go earn their own money. They can go work their own jobs. They can do whatever it is that they feel they need to do for themselves, right? And that itself, in and of itself, was a societal decision, because men decided that, okay, although I'm responsible for protecting and providing for my family, my wife wants the capacity to go out and earn her money too. Or the women in my life want to go and be the best of themselves. That was a decision that the society generally, through the voting process, is what I'm talking about. Through the voting process, decided that women should have that capacity to do it. So what I find ironic is that although that right was given, women are still looking for providers. Why look for a provider or a man to be able to provide and protect? Why do women want those qualities in men that they marry or that they have relationships with if men were so evil? Why do they want these provisions from men?
So
Because
I will answer that, but let me get some clarity from you first. So I kind of get where you're coming from, but I think that I'm caught up on men going out and getting and building this society or this situation so that their women can flourish. When have Black women flourished? Because if we were always working, if we were not stay-at-home moms, by and large, when did Black men go out and build this society and get all of these resources so that Black women could flourish?
So if I can jump in real quick. All right. So if you think of everything at its base level, like this is what he means by when he says men built the society for women to flourish. To his point, when he says you go out there, you do what you got to do to take care of the women and children that are underneath you. If you think about basic human activity, wife doesn't like being rained on. Man builds a hut over her head. She says she's cold. He'd sit there and blow on her and be like, are you okay now? I'll wave a fan. We build things to make the women around us, the women and the children around us, comfortable. So I'm assuming when he says flourish, he doesn't necessarily mean you go out there, you can do the same thing I can do. So if I'm me going out there slinging a hammer, slinging a sledgehammer and working and making $80 an hour, I'm not saying in society you're flourishing in a way of you can go out there and sling the same sledgehammer and make the same $80 an hour I'm making. What he's saying is we did things to make y'all comfortable in society. And what has happened is every time women have came up and said, we're uncomfortable with something, men did something about it. For example, when they said, we're not comfortable being in the house all day, every day, and not, you know what I mean, and you get to make all the money. And men came together and said, should we gonna let them vote and go out there and make their own money? And said collectively, sure. Go out there and make their own money. Like, it's a like women, we work and acquiesce to one another as society goes on. Women ask for certain things, then we sit there and congregate and be like, all right, we gonna give it to them? Sure. That's what.
Now, that's the part I disagree with. Do we acquiesce to one another? I don't think women acquiesce to men at all. They do everything for themselves, right? They do what they want to please themselves. So when they get with a man, it's to use that man for whatever it is they need to use that man for, so they can benefit and be happy. And they'll stay in that house and they'll not have sex with other men to benefit themselves. But it's not acquiesced to a man. It's all for their benefits. And now in 2025, it's clear. We have information now that women, they don't want to be under a man covering anymore because they don't need to. Now, do they want to still deal with us sexually wise? Yes. Yes. But they feel like, you know what I mean? We owe them. The women feel like we owe them, even though they can make their own money. Women feel like they should get all the things they ask for, even though they're capable of making their own wage. So this is what they're speaking to, right? Now that you get all this money, you are capable now of you don't need a provider anymore. You're self-efficient.
What we mean by when we built society to, like, because we don't only just protect y'all from other men. We protect y'all from natural disasters. We protect y'all from the rain. We protect y'all from animals. We protect y'all from diseases. And now we're coming to a point where we're all collectively coming in and adding our thing in a pot because women have made their contributions to modern medicine as well. So that's what we're like. That's what he means when he says men built a society to make women. We built a society to make our whole entire species flourish. Because if our women ain't comfortable, we ain't comfortable.
I thought she was done.
So
The only thing I wanted to say real quick is that even if we were going to say black men in particular, as far as building this country, even if it was by force, black men have absolutely spearheaded that to front lines on all these wars when it was time to fight and protect your freedoms, forced to build railroads, infrastructure, countless infrastructure. Black men have did it. And if black women are not flourishing, then when were they? Right now, black women are most black women will make this argument that they're the most enrolled, the most educated, making more money, even though they're not making more money. They're still making way more money. And I would say you at least have the opportunity to flourish if you so choose. So
facts, Nidish. Facts, Nidish. But we men have to understand, we no longer are welcome in the house of the women. So what is a king? A king don't stop being a king because he doesn't have a queen. Come on now. A king doesn't stop being a king because he doesn't have a queen. A king is a king because he has an army. He's a person of integrity. He's all these things, right? He doesn't need a queen to be a king. All you need to do is be king of your life, gentlemen. If women are complaining about our abilities, if women are complaining about the way we do things, then fuck it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do what we gonna do what we gonna do anyway. We're still valuable. And we gonna eat, nigga. Yeah, we gonna eat. Regardless of what you saying, girl, we gonna eat. And as men, these women trying to shame us out of that position. These women trying to talk us and out of that position because they want to take the position from us. Women are trying to take your place, nigga. Don't y'all get it? The women is trying to take the man's position. Yes, we are Israelites. This is what the women are trying to do. They're moving to try to take our position by manipulating. And putting out these false narratives that, oh, men ain't shit. When you tell a woman, men built a society, women look at you like, so? So we have to understand, we don't need women in retrospective to be great. But we also understand that, right? A woman who are Israelites, we understand that women are rebellious, right? We understand that women have always been rebellious. So this, just for the record, just in case a nigga think he need a woman to be great, is a fool. Because you don't need a nuclear family to grow the nation. You don't need husband and wife to grow a nation. You don't. Babies get made out of wedlock all the time. So when we as men start acquiescing to these women, trying to make them happy and and that's the mistake men, I believe that's the ultimate mistake men made, is we tried so hard to please them and we're still trying so hard to please them. Oh, baby, please don't leave. Baby, come back. I give you the world, the moon, the stars, the stars that find you. I give you the world and all that you dream of. That's the mistake we made. We so hard to acquiesce and please women's emotions that all they did is look at us and say, you soft ass niggas, pay me. Pay me. Now they're saying pay me. Women have always been jealous of men because they can never match our, physical attributes or psychological dominance, taking shit over. But now what they're doing, because men have let their guard down, niggas don't even consider themselves kings no more. The new society is the queen is the king. So niggas are sacrificing their kingmanship to follow the queen. Virtuous. Women never been virtuous. Why do everybody keep saying women are virtuous? Do you know what virtuous mean? That's like pure. Women have never been virtuous. Women have always been evil. Always. They just couldn't exercise it the way they wanted to, but they've always been witches. Women have always been dirty dogs, right? Women were always been backbiters and knife stivers. Women ain't never, been not righteous, but we fuck with them. So that's why, it is what it is. But women ain't virtuous. They ain't perfect, right? They just is, they have faults just like everybody else. Women have imperfections just like everybody else. So, but the problem with men, we started placing women above ourselves, are equal. Okay, I got a guess. Got a couple guests. Okay, let me do this intro. Let me do the intro. So we got my first guest I'm gonna bring up.
What's something that give you butterflies?
Money. Money gives me butterflies.
The next guest we're gonna bring up. Okay, what's up? Welcome to the show, Mella and Squabble Up, Sweaty the Terrible. Okay, that seems like
Hey,
Peace. Go ahead, sister. My bad.
when he said that men have greater psychological, um, I can't even say it with a straight. What I heard, I'm listening. I'm content with listening. I pressed the like because I support. I pressed the like, and my intention was to find a documentary somewhere. And then he said, because men have greater psychological dominance. I was like, oh, hell no. You really think
You
I'm
came
gonna
up here
let
to fight that point.
You really think I'm gonna let that roll?
Yo,
This is not true. This is not true.
What?
It is not true that men have greater quote unquote psychological dominance. That's not true.
Hey, Rufus become up some old.
So laughable. I can't keep a straight face, but man, we appreciate you, man, for bringing us this stimulation. Whether we laugh at it or we go, maybe he got something there. Like either way, you stimulating people. So yeah, I'm roll with you. But I gotta just say, I hit the link because you made such an atrocious statement. I couldn't couldn't let that slide. That's just not the case. I'm not even gonna talk about the virtuous thing. I'm not gonna talk about that. That's a whole nother issue. What I'm approaching you with is what fixed your mouth to say that men are more
like you in trouble,
psychologically
brother.
dominant than women. Like, what fixed your mouth to say that?
Because
bro, Eve that came up on the panel like, what's the business?
So let me add context to that. We have men. We are apex predators. Simple, right? That means we have won physical and psychological warfares to apprehend society and civil liberties, right? Being right, yeah, because the psychological is the most important part, right? Your enemies have to respect you in the head, right?
I understand the physical dominance, but you switch. You switch. You said psychological dominance.
I'm gonna let you yell all. You know me. But let me finish my point, Melanie. I'm gonna let you do your thing. But men, we have dominated. We are the apex predators. Men. Let me clarify that. Men. And y'all women have came in on our backs because we have dominated, taken over shit, right? We on a physical level and on a psychological level, right? We are dominant. We have imposed our manliness. Well, we can check, nigga. We put in place structure, in place protection measures, right? And we also understand psychological warfare. We understand politics. See, that's psychological. Men have dominated that and still dominating that, right? And we have to understand that women, you guys have been jealous of us for that. You guys have been jealous because all the prestigious of an apex predator goes to the man. If we was to give out awards today, Mello, and I'm gonna let you go. If we was to give out awards today, who is the top dog of the apex predator in the world? Would he go to the men or would he go to the women? Go ahead, Mello. I want to hear what you got to say.
You have another guest that has yet to speak. I yield to his presence.
Okay. Go ahead. Squabble up over word. Now, I know Squabble will definitely agree with me.
Throw water to the sister, for showing respect. Obviously, I'm an Israelite. I rock with the Bible, so I do believe the man is the head. And I mean, even when you look from a scientific standpoint, when you look at Homo sapiens as humans, we're led by men. So it gets to the point where it's starting to get disrespectful when people say they don't need men while using the world men built and existing in the world that men dominate. So respectfully, I am going to have to agree with Ruthless Truth. The evidence is there since time immemorial. And I'm a yield so the young lady can speak.
Well, gratitude for that young lady reference. That's not the case. I'm actually not young. But anyway.
She's older and crazy.
What I will say, that would be confidence to you. Anyway, what I will say is that perhaps you are misconstruing want with need. When a woman, quote unquote, in these modern times claims that she doesn't, and I've discussed this with Ruthless Truth. When a woman claims that she, quote unquote, doesn't need a man, she's talking out the side of her neck. What she has failed to understand is that she wants a man. And there's a difference. Okay? There's a difference between wanting, to pair bond with someone of your opposite gender versus, oh, if I don't have you in my life, I don't know how I'm going to make it. There's a difference between a need and a want. So I just wanted to get that out the way. In terms of going back into the past about how men built this and men built that, what's escaping this conversation is the nourishment that he relied upon that woman to give him in order to make that happen. The nourishment and support, I might add. In addition to that, the sense of purpose and inspiration by bearing his children, there's that. If left to themselves, and I don't wish this on any man, I'm just saying, if left to themselves, convinced that they have no purpose, they're pretty much gonna be messed up. A woman gives a man purpose. That's what a woman gives a man, and to diminish that as something as, well, you give me purpose, but I need to control you since I'm a quote unquote apex predator is ridiculous. Because I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm done. I'm gonna land this plane. When you keep digging up the past, all you're gonna do is get dirty. The men who are dwelling on the past and how things quote unquote were are not focusing on the future. They're not looking forward. They're looking in the rear view mirror. And when you keep digging up the past, you're going backwards. You're gonna get, just filthy with this mental entitlement that no longer exists for you. Just accept it and move on in a more clever way. That would be my overall suggestion. You got the floor, brother.
Well, once again, right? Ruthless would take the victory with a victory lap. So that was answer that. Now, to this part, now she brings up a woman needed a man or wanted a man. Okay, I agree with that, right? Nobody should absolutely worship nobody, right? God is number one. So I 100%. What's up, Poppy? I 100% agree with that, man. I do think God
Yeah,
is
it's
the
like what's all
ultimate.
this need talk?
Well, no, I'm saying that's what you said. You said need versus want, right?
Yeah, there's a difference
Yeah,
between
yeah.
needing
So I'm
versus
saying I agree
wanting.
with you. I'm
Every
in
time I
agreement.
turn around, there's
Yes.
some male critique about, yeah, these women out here claim they don't need a man.
And,
That's not the case.
and I once again I agree with that sentiment, right? I don't think they need men. My problem,
I disagree with that sentiment.
let me help you out though, Squabble. Reason why I agree with that, Mr. Squabble, is a woman don't need a man, right? Because God is ultimate. He takes care of everybody. But I will say this. I will say this. Us men do need to understand that these women do not worship the ground we walk on, which is perfectly okay, which is understandable. But what we also got to take responsibility and some sort of action for, we need to start worshiping the ground they walk on, right? And because they're not goddesses, they're not gods or nothing. They're human just like us. They bleed just like we bleed, right? And if they are demanding and commanding independence of us in their plight to be, you know, efficient providers for themselves and stuff, whatever, fine. It's okay. We got it. Okay, it was cool. And we need to understand that we need to treat them as people who have evolved into and found a place in society where they can make money, they can provide and protect for themselves, and they can, right? Women got pepper spray, they got weapons, they even know some kung fu, right? But
Oh God, Ruthless, don't do that. I'm a martial artist. I actually have a third-degree black belt. Don't do that, please. Don't. I'm gonna let you do it anyway. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you do it anyway.
I'm not saying that this is the most successful way to do things. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is women are saying they want they want to eat at the table with the kings, and that part, to me, I don't agree with that. I think women should chase their careers, make their money, provide and protect for themselves in a manner of day to day. But to try to eat at the table with the apex predators that are really dangerous, because men are really dangerous. We're very dangerous, man. We can wipe out a whole lion population in less than 30 minutes, right? We are really dangerous. And I don't think you guys should be trying to compete nor walk that walk, because once again, right, we give y'all the rite of passage because we understand, right, and we do respect that you guys are here purposefully for not only just procreation, but also to be productive citizens, right? So we're giving y'all that. But now all this other stuff y'all pushing for to try to get on, to try to eat at the table with the kings, you guys are treading, let me make this clear, you guys are treading uncomfortable waters. And I think you guys should take a step back and realize that, you know what, we're better at, we're better at the things we do, right? Which is what we do. But leave the men alone. If we don't fuck with them, if we don't want them, if we don't want to have sex with them, we don't deal with them, fine. Like, we ain't finna argue about that. Do you, boo? Boo. You gonna go be with another woman, or you want to just be celibate? Whatever. However you want to do it. And if you do want to mess with us on a sexual level, you maybe, that's fine. But to try to overtake our throne, I think you will be very unhappy with your results on that. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna let y'all respond to that.
I wanted to say concerning the do women need or want a man. I would have to say that women absolutely need men, because there's no woman that's come into existence without a man. Number one. Number two, to say that you don't need men or that you're truly independent, which there's no human being, man or woman on earth that's independent. Men still rely on the other men to work the oil rigs, to walk the electrical lines. We still, as human beings, rely on each other. So there's no human being that's independent in it. When you look at the definition of what it truly means. So if for a woman to say she doesn't need, I'm gonna be quick, Ruthless Truth. For a woman to say that she doesn't need a man, I need her to prove it. I need her to come into the physical world without a man's sperm, and I need her to stop using everything men invented. I gotta see it.
So
and I gotta really see it.
Let me help you out, right? I'm gonna do this on the defense of the women, right? You know me, I really don't, but I will say is they don't, because they're protected species, just like man's a protected species, right? Because God can wipe everybody out. God can wipe everybody out by just by the elements of the earth. So,
well, Ruth is true. I got to jump down for a minute. I'm gonna come back up so I can finish, but I can still hear y'all in the chat. I just got to jump down for a minute, but I'll be right back up, y'all.
All right. So, Mela, I'm on your side with this one, Mela. On this side of the argument, you don't need men. I agree with that 100%. 100%. Are men useful to you guys?
I was looking forward to him dialoguing with you because I had to leave as well. You know, it's approaching dinner time and a lot of us have things to do, but I appreciate your live stream. And as far as that brother that was up here, it was not my intention to give him quote unquote pushback because I'm pushing forward and my thoughts center around the comfort that's already been established, the structured organizations, the structure that's already been established, built by men. Let's get that straight. I'm not going to deny that when it came to the physical labor, the ingenuity, the innovativeness that brought these comforts into fruition, of course, they're founded by men, of course. However, as time keeps on pushing into the future, is why I don't give pushback. Are we looking back or are we looking forward? And this is the problem with complaints. You know, it's like, well, back in the day and time immemorial and back in the day, it's like, okay, I'm so glad you have a degree in history. I'm presuming there's this study that this previous guest was espousing on. Like apparently he studied history so fervently, so intensely, you know, just like he can just spit everything historically. Guess what? As much as that knowledge is appreciated, it has nothing to do with functioning in the future. Not one thing. Now, is there room for those who forget their past are doomed to repeat it? Yeah, there's room for those myths. There's room for that. You know, trust and believe. There are people that are going to make sure that the past, when it comes to oppressiveness, being oppressed, not being allowed to exercise, you know, optimal levels of comfort for yourself in the present. There are people that are going to make damn sure that we don't repeat the past. Since we want to talk about history, you know, there was a time when women weren't allowed to get a credit card without a man's cosign, without a man cosign. Can you imagine that shit? I remember when I first heard of that, I was floored. I said, wait a minute, what? You know, what? Did you know that domestic violence against your wife was legal until like, what, 20 something years ago, if not less? I was like, what? You know, so, you know, there is something to be said about those who forget their past are doomed to repeat it. I guarantee you, with this taste of liberty that women experience in this country, we ain't gonna let that shit happen at all.
Yes.
Even if we have to deny the desire to pair bond, even if we have to deny that, you know, there's this woman, Ebony Williams, right? I'm not gonna say she's been out there, but you know, she has a judicial degree. She's very well educated. And what she discovered is that she's poor in relationships. She's wealthy in other aspects of her life, but when it comes to relationships, it's been one failed agreement after another, because the men that she happened to have been attracted to and formed relationships with wanted to, how can I put this, dominate her. And she's come too far for that. And because she was aching to procreate, she was at a crossroads. She was like, so do I procreate, using the technology available now? I go ahead and either get a sperm donor, have the test tube baby, or figure out some, surrogate mother. Like, I got to choose other options than thinking I have to either subjugate myself to the whims of a man's ego, or just continue on my path as a mother, which is all I really wanted in the first place. So, you know, women got options. And it sounds like this brother really don't appreciate that women got options.
Well, you guys have options, but once again, you don't need a man. Never. We don't need each other. We don't need y'all. I don't need us both.
Want and need are two different things.
We can now, for God has made this reproduction way. So yeah, but ultimately God is the provider and protector. So yeah, we don't need. But are we better with each other? Or are we better without each other? That's the real question.
So do men need women?
No.
So what's the problem? Why are men complaining that women don't subjugate themselves like they used to?
Because
what's the problem?
They're trying to take back their power they thought they had. See, it's like Mela, it's like, you know how
there's only one almighty power.
No, I understand that, but men thought the
rest of us are just in God's kingdom.
Remember, Mela, how that's why men don't want their women to work, right? Because he wanted to be able to leverage her, him making all the money. You know what I mean? That was back in the days. That's like 50s.
That's that ego crap.
This is how man, which is part of his leadership, right? I'm providing all this for you, and this is why I don't want, if you don't like it, then I can cut your allowance down, or you know what I mean, or whatever, right?
It's considered a threat,
now,
right?
Because women, not because you guys can make your own money, or there are a lot of guys making money now. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll say, hey, if you want to try to hold that money over my head, I'm out. I go, I'll figure it out. And men are astonished at this because they're like, damn.
Astonished?
Yes, we're astonished because we're like, fuck. You know what I mean? Now that
you didn't figure that one out.
Right. Our money cannot no longer dictate play anymore. Now a lot of men are trying to acquiesce and use the submit to you guys, trying to keep you guys happy. And that ain't working either, right?
You know what the problem is?
Yeah.
Men think that life is a game to be played. And women, and I can speak for myself, I'm not playing any games. I don't play games. Either we understand our roles and supporting one another, or we don't. This playing game stuff, that's for people who had no options. When you're dealing with people who have options, you can't play games. And I think when you mention the word astonished, I think men are taken aback, dare I say astonished, using your word, that the rules of gamesmanship no longer apply. There's no gamesmanship. There's relationship. Either we can relate to mutual respect or we cannot. And people who rely on gamesmanship and how they operate in life, they're going to lose every time, because these are not the times to practice gamesmanship when bonding with a woman. That, like, women can see that. We don't want to deal with that.
Mela, it's not that men are playing games.
Yes, you are.
No, we're not. Let me help you out. No, I'm not saying you're wrong though in your assessment, right? But it's not games, right? Hello, ladies, Zarax. Welcome in. We got your sisterhood up here. But yeah,
No, wait a minute. Do I have a link in your? Do I have a wrench? You need to put the link. I said need purposefully. Put the link to the panel in your chat because I really do have to have. I got to check on my food and have dinner ready on time for the man that I want. So I'll talk to you sooner than later. You all hit the link and talk to Ruthless. He's a decent guy. He's just a little misguided, but I'm working on him. Y'all take care. Bye.
Hey, you have your wrench next time you come back too. Yeah, but you know, women, I mean, look, homies, these women, we do have to understand they're not operating in the same capacity as they was operating 50, 60 years ago. So even though a woman who's not paying no bills and she's been taken care of by her husband, she still understands if she's no longer happy in her situation, she can uproot and walk out and be totally efficient until she gets to where she want to go. But even if her husband's doing all that, right? Because she knows she can take the kids and uproot and left any minute, right? Women know this. So it's okay though, but this is the part we got to, it doesn't fucking matter. Wherever these women gonna do, they're gonna do. There's nothing we can do. We cannot control them. And men need to stop, and men do need to understand this position. We cannot control women. And that's just where we have to have a reality check. And we've never been able to control women. But women in a reality check that they can't control men either. And that's also a thing. Women, y'all can't control us. So both parties need to understand that we all are individuals with individual ideas. And when we come together with each other, it's to make each other's life pleasurable. We should not be coming together to argue. We should not be coming together to make one's life more difficult. This has happened. This was yesterday. I'm gonna play it in a minute. But we as men and women got to come together to make each other, we come together for pleasurable moments, pleasurable situations. That's what men and women are supposed to come together to do. We're not supposed to come together and make each other's life miserable. We're not supposed to come together and constantly argue with each other. That is not the purpose, or at least that is not the plan when we meet each other and we commit to each other to be arguing and fighting with each other all day. When we come together, we're supposed to be pleasurable to each other. That is the name of the fucking game. Children argue. Children have these things. They should be trying to figure things out, not adults. I'm talking about the man you choose, the woman you picked, the one you said, this is who I want to spend time with. This is who I want to be in my life. This is who I want to be in his life or her life. That means our time together, by both parties involved, by any means necessary, pleasurable. And that means running the bathwater before he gets home. Or if that means giving her a massage because she's going through some things and being the ear she can hear, damn it, do it. Do it. But we, as humans, we don't appreciate this thing. Women, they fought for this to be able to pick their own husband. Come on now. Women, y'all fought for this. Y'all fought so hard. Y'all clawed your way, fighting to be able to have the final say of who you're going to procreate with and be attached to. And then y'all turn around and start complaining about them. And then y'all don't want to do what it takes so that both of y'all can be successful. Your solution is, I quit. I quit. I don't want to be with him anymore because he ain't making me up. Blah, 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 blah. I don't this. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, you have to accept responsibility for you, your actions to say, damn, I'll pick this guy. Why am I now complaining about him? What? Am I perfect? You women need to look in the mirror too. Am I perfect? Am I better than him? Did I do nothing wrong? Where I can just judge him? Is my resume spotless? Have I not flirted with a guy low key and he didn't know about? Have I been wrong in some arguments, but I still want to win? Could I put myself first? Am I selfish? Am I self-centered? Am I inconsiderate? Am I unappreciative? Damn, look in the mirror and ask yourself, is that me? Because the moment you realize that you need help in a psychological warfare of mental health, then you're able to reconcile things with your husband or your boyfriend. And then all things can come together. But as long as you point finger, as long as there's finger pointing, as long as you're always needy, why are you women so needy? Why y'all so needy? Y'all talk that shit, but y'all be needy. Y'all talk y'all shit, but y'all be always got your hands out. Oh, can you pay my bills? Can you pay my bills? Can you buy me this purse? You guys are so needy and greedy. When I see a bunch of women, I say we're in the land of the needy and the greedy. But you always want to blame the man. I know y'all ain't needy, ladies, y'all right, but y'all act needy though. That's the difference. All y'all be asking for shit. Oh, can you pay my bills? If y'all ain't so needy, then why ain't y'all doing for yourself? For all these rights that y'all fought for. For all this equality you fought for. Yeah. Stand up. I know it's tough. I know Rufus be putting it down. But you women, y'all say y'all ain't needy, but y'all act like y'all needy though. Y'all the needy and the greedy. Y'all say, oh, we ain't needy. Ruthless, we ain't needy. But then why you always get your bills paid when you got a job? When you got a savings account? I have no problem with that, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm just saying it. That don't give you the right to be needy and greedy. Y'all fought so hard to get your own bag, independent. What Beyonce say? Bills, bills, bills. Oh, bills, 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 bills. Can you pay my bill? Pay my telephone bill? I don't want you if you can. Y'all needy. Y'all, why y'all begging in the song for nigga to pay your bills? Being a provider don't have to ever. Money is not necessarily the top thing of being a provider. I can provide for you sexually. I can provide for you psychologically, baby. I can dig you down so good you will never want to walk outside. I make every time you walk outside, you miss coming home. But you know what women tell me? That good D ain't good enough because we want money. So that's what I'm saying to you women. Y'all talking about y'all need a man, but y'all always acting needy. Y'all don't want to run bath water. Y'all don't want to cater to your man. Y'all don't want to do nothing. All y'all want to do is got your hands out, your mouth open. Hands out, mouth open. You know, other day on Izzy channel, Izzy's like, y'all need to stop giving these women money. Stop having sex with these women. There are men out here saying that. Which I don't think, that means anything. But what I'm saying is you women need, if you guys are pushing the line on the men for equality and supremacy, you need to start paying your own bills, baby. You guys need to start paying your own bills. And granted, I see you guys out here hustling. I see you guys out here prostituting. Shout out to the 304s. I see you out here selling that coochie. Oochie. I see you women out here putting a for sale sign up. Talk about my name is Cash App. Yeah, y'all pay your own bills. You right, ladies, Iraqs, after y'all come out the strip club, getting it from some old white man, 65 years old. And let him blow air in your butthole. Most of y'all women out here are prostituting. The others, y'all got great families. The only reason every woman ain't really just getting on the blade and going to strip clubs, because a lot of them got, like, especially white. So you don't see a lot of white girls because they got strong family. Their dads and their moms are strong support systems. That's the only reason. That's the only reason you don't see a tremendous amount of women on the blade. But it's growing every day. You drive by Figueroa, it used to be just 10, 20 of them out there. Now it's 40, 50 of them. It's growing by the day. Because the family support system is breaking down. Because women, a lot of women are single mothers, and they can't really help their daughters like that. Because women, you guys are not really great providers. At the end of the day, you guys can't pay your bills. I give you that, Zyrox. But a lot of y'all be selling y'all coochie. Either in the corporate setting, sleeping your way to the top, manipulating your way. A lot of y'all be at the football games. Come on, Zyrox, let's have this conversation. A lot of y'all be at the basketball game, NBA, and college, because now they're getting paid in college. Some of the college players making a couple million. Now y'all at the college games, y'all at the pro games, y'all at the basketball games, football, baseball, hockey. Come on, why y'all act? Oh my gosh, Zyrox, y'all killing me. Talking about we do pay our bills. Yeah, after y'all try to get it from a man. And even when y'all got a job, this is why, even when y'all making your own money, one thing women do, they hate to pay their bills. Women, y'all hate paying bills. Keep it real. Keep it trill. Y'all hate paying bills. So what do? Y'all find some man and he takes the thing from you that you hate to do. Because y'all act needy and y'all greedy. Because y'all don't even share the money that y'all, after y'all save up all that money, y'all don't even share it with the guy who helps support you. Well, ladies, I you're a little older. But I do believe, maybe, I don't know your really backstory. If you could tell me, if I knew exactly your age, I'll tell you exactly how your life went. I just don't know exactly how old you are. You're probably like 30 something, 36, 38, between there. So I'm taking it. You say you never had a man pay your bills? I think you're lying. I think you had a man, that bill. There's a bill that comes from that food. If he took you on that date, that's a bill, ladies and gents. So late 30s, so 35. You were getting taken out on dates. Niggas paying for your food bill. You gonna knock it. See, this is how women don't. That's a bill, baby. Yeah. See how they forget? Oh, I don't think I never had man or boyfriend pay my bills. Also, you was paying for all the dinner dates bills. You was taking up all those bills, ladies. Iraq. You're lying. That food bill that you got from the man was picking that up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are married and you having your man pay the mortgage and all the bills, you definitely, your boyfriend before that was paying your food bill. Yeah, every now and then. Yeah, you pay once or twice a year, lady. Once or twice a year. You weren't paying like every other day. And that's why you got rid of the boyfriend and got with your husband, because he took that off you. But men need to understand, right? We are valuable with or without women. We do not need women to be valuable. We don't. And we need to stop learning. We need to stop acquiescing to all these women, all their demands. We got to tell them no. If you're going to be my wife, this is what you're going to have to, and you got this job, or you got this independent mindset, well, this is what you're going to have to do. This is what you're going to need to do. We got to let them live in their truth, gentlemen. We have to let the women live in their truth. How are you generous and you won't even run no bath water, ladies and gentlemen? You don't even run no bath water. That's free. Well, he made so much more than your hubby. Well, then he was paying for all them dinners. You probably paid for an anniversary, a birthday, probably. If he's making that much money, so you lying again, right? He wasn't paying. He was paying 99.9% of all the motherfucking food bills. And I'm sure y'all went to Disneyland. I'm sure y'all went to Universal Studios. I'm sure y'all went on some trips. Yes, ladies, all right. Bathwater. If you ain't want to run no bathwater, you definitely ain't paying a whole bunch of bills for no man. For no man. Even your ex, right? You wasn't paying his bills. And you weren't paying for a lot of them dates. You probably, like I said, one or two. You said he was making all that money. So you definitely ain't. You maybe got him a birthday. You pay for the dinner for a birthday. That's it. You women are selfish. You guys are selfish, ladies, all right? And just admit it. Just admit it. Stand 10 toes down. Y'all heard what Beyonce say? Bills, bills, bills. Pay my telephone bills. Oh, yeah. You know he paid for that. Yeah. Yeah, and you know he paid for that. So you gonna quit. Don't tell Ruthless. You're not gonna sit here and tell Ruthless that nigga was making all that more money than your husband, and he wasn't paying for them annual passes. Them ain't cheap, and them ain't free, and Disneyland ain't cheap. And he was paying for dinner, and because you still gotta pay for the food there. And I'm sure you got you a few, Mickey Mouse souvenirs. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we know you're a gold digger. You ain't got to lie, kick it. But anyway, right? Don't let these women fool you, gentlemen, that you ain't no king. Just because she don't treat you like a king, don't mean you're not a king. You just got to understand the position has changed, right? We have to act like, hey, check it out, man. We don't need women. Ultimately, we like to have them around. We love them. They're sexy. They're beautiful, but we don't need you, baby. We are valuable with or without you. You say I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing with you. Let that resonate, boo. Let that sink in your skull. You say, I'm nothing without you. Well, check it out, boo. I'm nothing with you either. Because women don't add value to men's life. You guys are a bill and a liability. That's what you always are. You guys are a bill, one, y'all cost, and you guys are liabilities because we never know what your emotional roller coaster is going to do. Right? We can't control. You guys have 4 or 5 different personalities, and you guys are easily influenced. So you guys are very unstable. So you guys are liability. When a man takes on a woman, he's taking on a liability. And hopefully, cross the fingers, she doesn't become a liability. We want you to become, something that's a fortress, but that just isn't going to happen because we understand that y'all lean into your emotions and the way you feel means everything to you guys. And that's what makes you a liability. And, so once again, Ruthless is anti-marriage for this reason. I don't care if people don't like that. True, I agree with you, ladies. All right, I 100. Y'all ain't any better. I agree with that. Listen, let me make this clarification to Lady Zyrax, since she wants to always try to throw some out at me. We're not trying to say we're better than y'all. We understand that we're not perfect. But let's be clear. You're not perfect. Boo. Yeah, we're not better than you guys. Yeah, we do wrong, y'all do wrong. We both do wrong. But why do you guys complain about us so much when you're not perfect? You guys complain the most. Men, let me be honest with you, men in these conversations, ladies, y'all rocks, are on a defense. Most men are on a defense when they debating with you guys. Because you guys are the one, y'all ain't shit. Y'all broke. Y'all ain't making us happy. Y'all cheaters. Y'all this, y'all that. And the men try to say, well, what do you bring to the table? Well, you need a man. That's why all these little conversations start up. Because the women, instead of reconciling things and say, you know what? Let's do this together. Y'all pushing for separation. I'm not gonna say you guys are more social, right? Men, we play sports. So how y'all more social? We got 5 motherfucking sports: soccer, football, baseball, basketball. You see all them new reporters asking all of them questions after the game. That's social. So men are very social. And then you hear all those President Obama speeches. Come on, ladies, all right. You hear all them President Obama speeches, all them Trump speeches. Men are very social. Men politicians speak more than anybody. So I don't know what you're talking about. But bottom line, right? Men, don't let these women fool you. You are kings with or without them.
Black women are absolutely flourishing. You have the convenience and you live in a posh society where you can actually get through life without the direct presence of a man. I would consider that absolutely to be flourishing.
It's usually the words that men choose to use. I've learned that I have to just ask for clarification from you guys. Because when you speak, you use words that just it does not compute. Flourish was not, that didn't work to bring the point to me, because that confused me a lot. But let me answer your question though. The reason why women still look for providers is because men cannot let go of the word provider and submission and protection. You all do that. You all lead with money. This is not something that we are doing. When I tell you, I have never used the word provider so much in my entire life. I have never referred to a man as a provider. Never. Ever. It was not a part of my vocabulary when I'm talking about a man. This is new to me because
She capping. She capping. She's lying in front of all these people. Said she did not look for a man to be a provider. Then what did you look for a man for? You want that D from him? You look at him to provide you with that D? Get the fuck out of here. If you got with a man because you wanted some D from him, you want him to provide you with a great sexual experience. Come on. I'm just saying, ladies, all right? She said she don't look for a man to be a provider. She look for him to provide her that D. The fuck out of here. Why can't we just call it like it is? She's sitting there saying a bald-faced lie. Talking about, oh, I ain't never, ever, ever looked for a man to provide. So who you expect to give you that D? Unless you're into women? I guess she said she gay. I'm not sure.
Because of social media. I saw a man as a man. I saw a man as a person. The dehumanization of that word, provider. The dehumanization of the word, submit.
Okay, I got it. I got it now. I see what she's saying. She looked at a man to come and acquiesce to her. But she still wants him to provide her with a sexual experience. She still wants him to provide her with his submission to her, whatever it is that she wants for him to do for her, whether it be some emotional support, whether it be whatever it may be, right? Money, whatever. She's lying.
Like I'm a child or a slave or a horse. Like I'm just it's the words. I don't.
They're verbs, bro.
So I have never heard a man be referred to as a provider, as if you're your wallet. So if I'm being honest, women look for providers because, one, we are told that we need to look for a man that can take care of us. We are told by men that we need to allow them to take care of us. So if you don't want to be a provider, if you want us to be independent, because it's like men complain about being providers or women looking for providers, and then they don't want us to be independent. I'm not sure what part of the fence y'all want to be on. Do you not want an independent woman and you want us to look for a provider? Or I genuinely am confused about this, but it's the words for me. I need the intention. Like that's why I have to ask clarifying questions now instead of just assuming that you mean what I think you mean. So I know what y'all mean by submission now. I just don't particularly like the word. I know what you all mean by provider now. I just don't particularly agree with the word. That's all that is. It's really just a word for me.
So to answer your question, a few of them. One, so like this is how we get into like the circular thing, because I can make the argument that men are only saying that we have to be providers because women expect us to be. They demand it of us, and they don't necessarily have to use the word "you are a provider." They find ways to disqualify us for money all the time without actually calling us providers or the lack thereof. They will say things like they'll pick for a certain income bracket, even though their income bracket is unrealistic. On their dating apps, they would pick on certain things based on aesthetics and not based on a man's character. We would have conversations with women all the time, and they would say, "Oh, I just can't date a man that makes less than XYZ amount. It's just my preference." They would say a number of things that would allude to the fact that they're looking for a man to earn a certain amount of money so he can provide for it.
So, Bo, those points are valid, right? And
I remember.
In all honesty, lost your turn. In all honesty, men aren't particularly in love with some of those words too, like the provider. Just like women feel like they are sexually objectified, men are objectified by their finances, fetishized by their height, and a whole lot of different things that we see to be unfair too and marginalized, right? Like crazy for again, like Sweeney said, superficial reasons. So I think that if we were going to try to nutshell this, pause. The best thing for us to do to get some type of understanding, to me, would be like, all right, how can we meet in the middle somewhere, right? Can you at least understand what it is that I'm looking for? Can you, I think that it would be extremely helpful if both men and women were to look at what it is that's actually available, like what kind of men actually exist. You could write all the things down that you're looking for, but then you have to say, okay, what is it that I actually offer the opposite sex? I think that men do a better job at understanding what at least women are asking for objectively, right? We can try to at least reach these metrics. We know for the most part what type of finances we have is going to determine the type of women we have access to, right? We know we have to be well groomed. We know we got to smell good. We know we got to have some type of swag, and we develop ourselves for women, to be frank. Do women make that same effort for men outside?
And the answer is no. No. Women do not make the effort to be special for men. Everything they do is for themselves. And if they like a man or they want a man to court them, they're looking for pretty much to take from him. But she's not doing it for me. When she get her nails done, her eyes done, she's doing it for herself. When women get the extra body, BBLs, whatever, she's doing it for herself. She's not doing it for men. Women don't even try to hone their attitudes to be palatable for men. They feel long as they look good enough and they have good enough coochie, that should be enough to keep that man in check. Let me see that again. Not happy, right? In check. They use their beauty and their coochie to keep a man in check. And that's what women do, right? They don't never look for a man to make him happy or to, keep them. No, they look to make themselves happy and keep him in check. Because women ultimately are looking for slaves. They're not looking to slave for somebody. They're looking to be slaves. They're looking for slaves to slave to what? Their emotions, their emotional needs, their physical needs. If that man does not meet that, she will dismiss him quickly. And let's preface this. For a man to marry a woman, he has to at least show 3 to 5 year window that he's capable of getting to that point. That's how strict women are. Most women not letting a man marry them in a year. There's a few cases. There's some rare cases, but most time, 3 to 5 years. Because she want to see Are you a provider? Are you capable of dealing with me? If I check you, are you checkable? Women looking for men who are checkable. Women are looking for men that's going to do what they say, that's going to do everything to make their happiness. This is what women are looking for. And you gonna pay my bills? Are you gonna make me feel good? Are you gonna make me laugh? Are you gonna listen to me? That's what women are looking for. And men typically try to figure out how to fit into that, right? The women don't try to fit with the men. The men try to fit with the women. And this is how we get into the divorce rate. This is how we get into the many breakups. Because men, we try to be something that we're not. We try to live for her happiness and to please her, and it just falls short. Let me give Mella her motherfucking rant so she can quit crying. And ruthless. Okay, done deal. Mella. Hey, Lady Zarbox knows she can't win against me, so she gonna stay in the chat, and ain't nobody gonna come up here and challenge me because I know I'm right. I know I'm right about it. Rufus knows he's right. Rufus knows these women don't love men like men think they love us. These women love themselves, and they would never love a man more than they love themselves. They think they're the prize. These women think they're the prize. So if anyone who thinks they're the prize, guess what? It's all about them. Even though, they don't do nothing for men. And not even close to what men do for women and what women do for men is a great disparity. It's not even close. Men spend billions of dollars on women. Women might spend 50s to thousands of dollars on men. Right? Men spend billions and billions of dollars on women. Women spend about 50s of thousands. Out of probably 50 years, total women spend probably 100,000 on men in 50 years. Where men in 50 years have spent billions of dollars on women? Make that make sense. Let's have the conversation. Mela gonna ask me, Ruthless, how you guys think you guys are more psychologically dominating us? Because we're apex predators, Mela. When it was time to go to Afghanistan, Mela, and do some checking, when it was time to go to Iraq and do some checking, Mela, we got to it and got it done. Job done. Salute. Because we are apex predators. Men are at the top of the food chain. The fuck? Men, we're at the top of the motherfucking food chain. And we've allotted these women, we've given them the right to feel safe. We've given them a voice. And all of them sound like chihuahuas, wiener dogs, and motherfucking British bulldogs. I'm looking for me a golden retriever. I don't want a chihuahua. A French bulldog or a wiener dog around barking, and they ain't really ready for that smoke. I'm looking for me a golden retriever. All dead homies. Yeah. But we want to sit up here. These women want to sit and rebuttal Ruthless. Ruthless, why are you always saying something about these women? Because women, you guys don't do shit for men other than lay on your backs. and complain. That's it. That's it. I asked a woman to run her my husband's bathwater, and she told me, why would I do that? Because I said, show some appreciation. She said, he better buy me a new Ferrari. Then I run his bathwater. These women, y'all don't do anything for men other than, because the kids y'all have, that's for y'all. You be like, that's my kid. And the moment that man doesn't comply with your emotions and feelings, you would take the kids and turn the kids against him and bring a stepdaddy in to take his place. And if that stepdaddy don't work, y'all give it to him and get another stepdaddy. Y'all keep doing the job interview. You guys don't give a fuck about men, especially if that man does not acquiesce to the things you think is beneficial to your life. Prove me wrong. Ladies, I'm quiet in that chat. Prove me wrong. One of you niggas want to come up here and Kate, nigga, put on your cape, nigga, let's go. And if one of you women dare challenge, Camilla came and got wiped out today. She came and got wiped out. She got, oh, Ruthless, I got to go cook for the one I want. It was an easy victory. And this is why my numbers are low, because these women don't want to come up and challenge. And then they know if they challenge me, they got to be respectful about it. I will drop your ass. Ask Tamika. She had to text me and chat, oh, Ruthless, I said better. Because you're not coming up here being disrespectful. I don't need y'all. I don't give a fuck if I have one motherfucker in my motherfucking chat. I don't need a whole bunch of women up here. No. I like y'all. Y'all cool. I like the pushback. Don't get it twisted. I love the pushback. I love Mela and Lady Zyrox challenging their points and the way they feel. I have no problem with that. But as long as it's respectful, Rufus, I have no problem. We can argue until the cows come home. And y'all will continue to lose until the cows go to bed. And this is the reality of the truth. And this is what makes it so ruthless, because you guys understand the women code. Y'all like the men being hypnotized by your femininity. Y'all like holding that vagina over his head when he get out of line. Y'all like him being submissive to you. Him paying the bills, that's entitlement. Nigga, you better be paying the bills. That's the only reason you're getting this coochie exclusive. If you don't pay these bills, I go sell my shit at the strip club. I go sell my shit on Figueroa. What? Or I go and find a stepdaddy. Or I go and find a nigga at my job that take your place. Or I just make myself up, hit the gym, and go find me a new man at the gym. If you do not do what I say. And this is how y'all leverage your power against men. Y'all always using other men to check other men. Well, what you want, another nigga will. And that's how y'all roll. That's how y'all roll. As my boy Nighty said, his money is our money, and y'all money is y'all money. So what we understand here is, men, we have to stop trying to live for these women's happiness. It's just not worth it. Too many broken homes. The results are in. the results are in. Women are not good. They're not good partners. They're not good lovers. They're not good support systems. They're not good listeners. Well, I ain't gonna say not good listeners. They are. Women are good listeners, but I just don't think they give a fuck about what you're talking about. So they're good listeners, but they don't execute what they're listening to. So if you're asking them to do something to make you happy, they not gonna do it, right? Because a woman feels if she got you by the balls, why the fuck should she do it? Where you gonna go? Ain't no better women out here than me. You want to leave me? Well, get back out there in the dating market. Because my constituents are worse than me. So niggas, you better deal with me. You better deal with me. Because if you leave me, my constituents gonna rip you a new asshole. All these women out here, you think you complaining, you think you can find better than me, nigga? Oh, okay. Go out here in the dating market right now. And meet Miss Cash App and Miss PayPal.
Of sexually objectifying themselves. Not necessarily. Do women constantly say, you know what? Men like women with great figures. Do they get in shape? Men like women who are spiritually sound. Do they work on that? Right? Are you putting the right things in your body? Are you educating yourself? And not for the purpose of you obtaining a job, but to learn about what it is that men want. So I don't think that's happening. I don't think that women are making nearly as many concessions as men. And we can't deny the fact that men absolutely need work, but the goalpost is constantly moving when it comes to women. As far as men, what they've expected, what they've always expected, is what we've continued to expect. Women have a problem with us expecting what we've always expected, which would be consistency, which was what women asked for. But now that consistency would be called archaic. Now, men are expecting the same thing, but women are saying we want more. Now you got to make this much. Now you need to be this tall. Now you need to be charismatic and funny, and you need to bond with me spiritually, and you need to be you need to get that 60,000 at Amazon instead of 48,000. Like, it's so many different things that we have to do in order to be able to qualify for a woman. We're finding great difficulty, and to some, that could be very frustrating. So that's why you might see the rage and the frustration from men. And it's not excusable, but this is why you might see some of these things happen, right? When women typically ask for things and then respond to others. I'm very familiar with what's going on in today's current dating game, including with the young people, which is our future, people in their 20s, low 30s, all that stuff. And that's where the danger lies, because they are going to be the ones raising new children and everything else. And how that's going to happen, what that's going to look like is scary, right? So, and they can't get along at all right now. And that's who I think we need to be. Right. Understood. People are choosing themselves instead. So that's why we have a serious decline with birth rate, right? And that's globally now. This, I mean, well, the motherland is still doing pretty well, but outside of that, it's looking crazy.
If I could just say though, a bit of advice, although men probably don't want this advice, what I will say is, if in fact you want, I can't do nothing about women changing every 5 minutes what they want. Get you a woman who knows who she is and knows what she wants. But what I will say is, if in fact you want to be seen as something different, you're probably going to have to present yourself as something different. It is my opinion that men contribute and they perpetuate their own abuse, because not all men, but there are men who lead with money, who lead with, let me do this for you, who lead with.
What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean we lead with money? What am I supposed to walk around? What am I supposed to do? How do you mean lead with money? I lead with my personality, and you still want money. The fuck are we talking about? You can be the nicest, but you can talk about everything else. You can come in and have a conversation. You can meet these, let's say you meet them. Most women we meet in, let's say we meet at a bar, right? Okay. It starts out with a conversation. We talking about life. How you doing? Woo, woo, woo. Ain't nobody just coming out and saying, hey, how much it costs? Ain't nobody saying, what is she talking about? We need more money. Ain't nobody coming out and saying how much it costs, bitch. Nobody's saying that. It's a conversation going on. I'm getting to know you. You get to know me. You're judging me by the matrix of, okay, he's attractive. That's one, check. Then you ask me, this is the number one question, especially in 2025. That within 10 minutes of that conversation, that woman's going to ask you, what do you do for a living, nigga? What do you do for a living? That is the number one question that's coming between 5 to 10 minutes in that conversation. I think it's been 3 minutes. I might be a little too long. Because we're talking, hey, name, we exchange names. Where you from? She gives me a quick, I'm from here, and I tell her where I'm from. Bam. Then it's, okay. Boom, I've said a few jokes. Damn, you a bad bitch. Whatever I'm saying, and she spit her. Oh, okay, you might have. And then right after that is, so what do you do for a living? This is the number one question. So what do you mean a man lead with his money when y'all are demanding a nigga be a certain economic level for you to even deal with him? Stop the cap. Nobody's coming out. No men are coming out unless they're going to the strip club, unless they're going to Figueroa, the Blade. Ain't no man coming out to no man meet her at a restaurant, at a bar, at a movie, wherever, right? Or family meeting, or friends, or say how much you want for that. No, we're doing a basic conversation, and you guys come out with, what do you do for a living? Get the fuck out of here, man.
All of those things. And so if you want to be seen as something other than money, if you don't want a woman that is chasing after a bag or a man to take care of her, don't lead with it. Because if you dehumanize yourself, if you make yourself this provider and protector, you're dehumanizing yourself, and she is not going to see you as a human with real feelings that she has to consider. If a man...
The first question she asks within 5 to 10 minutes of the conversation is, what do you do for a living? I know. You learn something new. You learn something new, nigga. Yeah. Fig exists. It's older than me. But women, no, the women, when they meet you, what they're asking you for is, what do you do for a living? Nigga, if you say Mickey D's, nigga, she's asking for where's that check, please, for my drinks? You're done, nigga. If you say Burger King, nigga, you done, nigga. You better say you a motherfucking CEO, nigga.
Man comes to me completely stoic and he never shows me any vulnerability, I'm going to treat him as such. I'm probably going to mistreat him because you're not even showing me that you even have feelings. So if you don't do that, if you don't show that for us, then we're probably going to treat you like a workhorse and a wallet. So that's just my opinion.
That's the manipulation I was talking about.
I'm manipulating?
I'm saying that's manipulation.
God. How?
That's manipulation. I'm not judging you. I'm just pointing out.
But how?
That the same, and this is what I said, it's a human problem. People really just need to, it's a negotiation. Men and women have to find what they're looking for and negotiate the terms and conditions of their arrangement. It's as simple as that. Because not all men are looking for the same thing, and not all women are looking for the same thing. But for you to say that if a man presents himself a certain way, you're going to exploit the way he positioned himself. You didn't say, I'm going to, hold on. I'm just saying, you didn't say, I'm going to find out if he's stoic. I'm going to find out what's really beneath the surface. Why is he like this? You didn't say, I'm going to get to know this man on a deeper level or a spiritual level. You immediately said, I'm going to treat you like a workhorse, meaning you're going to manipulate and exploit the opportunity based on what he presents himself to be. So that's what men do as well. If a woman leads with sex, if she shows her body, if she presents herself a certain way, then men will take her as.
What are you talking about? We want to fuck her anyway. Even if she doesn't leave with sex. We still want the coochie, nigga. Why are we playing with the game? If she leaves with sex. We want to fuck her if she doesn't want to leave with sex. Women want money even if you don't leave with money. This is a bunch of delusional ass people having this conversation. This nigga said, well, women leave. We looking at her body, her face. Damn. Ain't no love at first sight, nigga. The fuck? This ain't no, I knew you was my soulmate. I don't want your coochie. I just want to know your mind. And to the women, he leave with his wallet. You look at, okay, he handsome. Does he got a good career? Can he afford me? Stop the fucking cap. And this is what I hate America. Because all of us in here faking like we just so this moral motherfucking agent, like we moral people. Well, when I look for a man, I don't look for his money or his dick. I don't look for his money or his dick. Well, what the fuck you looking for then? What the fuck you looking for? If you ain't looking for a man's money and his dick, what is you looking for him for? You're not going to sit and tell me that you're in love with him at first sight, that, all I just want him to hold me in my arms forever? Stop the fucking cap, Americans, and call it what it is. These women are looking for providers, protectors, and whatever else they can get from a nigga. And men, we looking to smash. And she's looking to smash too, or get smashed. She's looking to get smashed by you. She wants sex, power, and money, nigga. Money, power, and sex. That's what these women want. But we men, we want the same thing, but we don't want it from the women. We don't want the money and the power from the women. Well, I take that back. Let me slow down. We don't want the money from the women. We want the sex and the power if we want to make her our girls. Our girl, we want to be the power to, we're going to say, this is my woman. So we're possessing her as ours. So that the power to possess her and to have sex with her, as much as like all we can eat. Women, y'all want money, power, and sex too. We both want the same thing. And this is why, but where we both get in conflict in is we both want power. That's where the conflict comes in. And also, but for the women, the money is also an issue if you guys think you deserve more. So if he's not giving you the power and he's not giving you the money, that is a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker. Now, some women will take men without money if they can have the power. He has to give up those things. He has to give that power up. He has to be able to be a bitch if he gonna be with this woman and ain't got no money, nigga. You're gonna have to be a bitch. Her bitch. And the moment you try to step up and be a man, nigga, she gonna let you know, nigga. Get your broke ass out my face. If you don't like it here, find a new place. Get a job, nigga. Broke ass. So niggas want to act like don't leave with your money. Nigga, what am I supposed to do when I got this motherfucking Mercedes Benz I'm pulling up in? I'm supposed to go get a rent a Toyota so I can try to trick her to make her think I'm poor to see if she really loved me? Like a woman ain't gonna want something from me? Okay, let's take this right? Let's take it. Let's say she don't want the money from me. Maybe she doesn't want that much money. She's still gonna want sexual performance. And she's gonna want him not to be having sex with other women. I'm gonna end the show. Thank y'all for coming. Hit the like button. Ruthless out.